Join with me today is Casino, and we're going to talk about Sinister 6 versus Defenders for newer players, free-to-play players. I made a video last week, top 10 free-to-play farming guide, where I was encouraging people to pursue Guardians in Sinister 6, mostly because they can get amazing legendaries. And I just want to thank everyone that liked that video. But today we're going to talk about, well, how are we going to word this? How long you should work on Defenders? What is the purpose of Defenders? What's going on with the Defenders today? Why you shouldn't take your Defenders to 300,000? I mean, where should we start this, Josh? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's just get right into it. I think we can say right up front that you don't want to hard commit and just go all in on your Defenders till you have a 300K team. That's unwise.
Absolutely, yeah, and I guess I got to just say this too, right here, is that this is a hero collector game, and one way or another, you're almost required to get 80% of the characters, like 70% of the characters at some point. It seems like you're just kind of like always having, every single character has a purpose. Well, not all of them. I mean, there's still some that don't. Maybe like AIM and Hydra, some of the minions, but most of the named characters have some sort of purpose. Correct?
Yeah, and it's not just that. I mean, I'm kind of known for being like the head of the church of wide roster. Mm-hmm. And I'm constantly saying, like, even when I'm getting lots of shards for a bad character, there's the flash events, whether you need your hand characters for catalysts or your city heroes for a block party. They do random things like Bendy Girl and the Witch and stuff like that, like the Ant-Man Wasp little team up events, so you never know when you need those characters. They got the specialty raids where you can only use whatever it is, Wakandans or Spider-Verse. Like literally just about every single character has some use somewhere. And so I definitely advocate just spreading your resources out so that you don't end up way behind and totally
except for Ultron. When you get Ultron, max him out. That's a pro tip right there.
I'll second that.
Okay, common sense, but I'm just saying. Okay, so
for all you new players.
yeah. I mean, I'm struggling to get mine to 11. I've got 1 T4 and 11. I got them to 7 stars. Went to number 1 in the arena. That was a lot of fun, which I've never even been close. But what Casino is saying is 100% true, and I think a lot of people go with Defenders, and you need Defenders. Now, let's talk about why a new player needs Defenders. Because I think that was kind of lost in the video. It's like, you need Defenders. What I was trying to say in my video is that at some point, they're just not that great of a team. But early on, what do you need Defenders for?
Well, right off the bat, the main two things are, you should be fine to complete the hero campaign, but if not, definitely use them for the hero campaign. Mm-hmm. But they really handle the Nexus campaign very well.
Right.
I'm just ballparking it because they've definitely made some changes, but and I've been done with Nexus campaign for a while, but I'm pretty sure that once you get them around 150K for the team, they should be able to power through pretty much all of Nexus. And every stage of a campaign that you're able to 3-star means you can farm on auto fight whatever's on that node. So it really opens up your opportunity to get character shards, to get gear, lots of stuff you need for lots of characters. And then they're also really good for raid.
Yes, you need them for raid. Your guild's going to want you to help participate in the raid. And unfortunately, the magic key to raiding is Minerva. And that's what I just want to say. Like, if you suddenly stumble and unlock Minerva, you could pretty much drop your Defenders off on the porch and be done with them, and just throw it in a Guardian team or any team really, and you're going to have a much better raid team. Correct?
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's just not.
But that's going to be for a very lucky few.
Yeah, that's exactly it. How do you get Minerva? Unless you just dump a bunch of money into premium orbs, and it's kind of one of those things. It's just like once you have Nick Fury and Shield, Defenders are not that great. Once you have Minerva, Defenders are not that great. And I think that's what I was trying to say in the video. So some people in the comment section, I just want to give a big shout out to everybody in the comment section. Some people are saying 120,000. You're saying 150,000. But the point is at some point, it's very easy to get Defenders, very easy to farm them. They're very efficient, good, solid team. But you're going to want to stop. I don't see the value in taking my Defender team up to 300,000. Mine's at like 220, and I wish I would have stopped at a lower number. I don't know what that number is, but I think what you're saying right now is if you can finish the campaign node, stop there. If you're making your guild happy in the raids and you're actively participating in your raids, stop there. Now, let's talk about Sinister 6 for a minute. Now, a little bit controversial because I know a lot of people, myself, Valley, were like, wow, this is a tremendous value right here because you're able to unlock 2 legendaries. But a lot of those corresponding teammates on those legendary teams are not available yet, or we don't know how they're going to be available going forward. So what is your word of caution on the Sinister Six?
I mean, I could rant about this for the next 10 minutes, but
I'll 2-minute rant then. 2-minute rant.
All right, let's see. We'll start from the top. So the first is the Sinister Six themselves aren't that good of a value. In my opinion, they are a blitz team and a war team, and that's really it. They're not great for raid. They're not good for the villain campaign. They don't have any sustain. They're just kind of a front-loaded, lots of damage wombo combo, and that's it. They don't hold up. So I don't think that they have a strong purpose themselves. So they're just kind of a means to an end. And then it's a bit of a trap to power them up. Yes, you do get 2 legendary characters, but both of those legendary characters are support style legendary characters that kind of rely on their team. So if you get Shuri, now you have to go after all the Wakandans, and the Wakandans are somewhat available, but they require a ton of investment as well. Same thing with the Fantastic Four. If you get Sue Storm, you're going to want to get the Fantastic Four around her.
We don't even know
how they're going to be available. So it's kind of a trap. You can get them very, very easily. They're all super available to newer players. So it's definitely worth unlocking them all, like at 2-star. Like, get the team. It's just an extra blitz team, an extra war team. They're worth getting. I just don't know that they're worth putting much into.
Well, that's where I'm saying. Even for me, I'm not going to be like gearing them up much higher. I mean, whatever I need to unlock the legendaries, and then they're just going to sit on the sidelines, and it'd be exactly that. They're not going to have much of a purpose. There's a lot of other things, a lot of other teams to do the same thing for better. And so, that's what I mean. I might take them up to 6 or 7 stars to unlock Shuri and or Invisible Woman, but taking up higher in gear levels, I mean, I'm just not willing to put T4s unless something magical happens. Now, I want to transition this conversation to Guardians because I'm a huge fan of Guardians, and I know you are too. And I wish there was an easier way of bypassing Defenders and just going straight Guardians. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, the Defenders are super easy to get as a new player, but yeah, the Guardians, they're a little bit reliant on Star-Lord.
Yeah.
But the beauty is you can work on the Guardians, and that's how you get Star-Lord. So you can kind of jump right in, and once you have that final piece of the puzzle with Star-Lord, the Guardians are absolutely incredible. They're super solid blitz, super solid raid, super solid war, better than the Defenders for arena. They just kind of become your best option for pretty much everything at that point in the game. So I love the Guardians.
Yeah, so what I'm saying about the Guardians is that there's 6 Guardians in the game, which you can basically farm 5 of the Guardians fairly easier, but then they become way better when Star-Lord is unlocked through the legendary event. And the transition there with Guardians is like there's no guilt in gearing them or tearing them or Star-Lording him as high as possible. That's a new word, Star-Lording him as high as possible.
I Star-Lord all my champs.
Rocket, take him as high as possible. It's just like they're great because they will transition easily into a Minerva team and then getting Ultron. So it's just like, Guardians are amazing, but how frequently has the Star-Lord event been coming by? Like every 2-3 months right now?
Oof. I mean, so originally there was a legendary event every 2 weeks. And then I put out a graphic saying this is how often they come around and this is the order they've been coming around in. And as soon as I did that, Fox Next loves to invalidate my content. So I don't know if it was me personally, but they immediately changed it up. We went like a month without any legendary event. Then they were like 3 weeks apart, but we just had one like 2 weeks apart. Like there was one, and then a week later there's another one, and then I think we're getting 3 more before the end of September. So yeah, it's tough to say, but on average right now it's roughly every couple of weeks, and I think there's 6 legendary characters right now. I could be off by one, but something like that. So.
And so the name of the game, of course, is Legendaries. And, there's Kree to get Nick Fury. You can get S.H.I.E.L.D. to unlock Iron Man. And then the S.H.I.E.L.D. minions will then work with Nick Fury. And then what we're getting right now, and kind of what my enthusiasm with the Sinister Six is you've got basically one team that unlocks 2 Legendaries. But really, Guardians to getting Star-Lord is a beautiful thing because you can gear up your Guardians and then get Star-Lord, and you didn't waste any time upgrading a team like Kree minions to get Nick Fury. Does that make sense, or would you agree with that?
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. Or wasting your time on a team like the Sinister Six just to use them to unlock someone else.
Right. And shield minions are not a terrible thing to upgrade because you not only will be able to get Iron Man, which is probably the most lackluster legendary out of all of them, but then as soon as you get your Nick Fury from Kree, you're good to go. I mean, there's no like guilt or I don't have any bad feelings towards any of the resources that you put into shield that I do have with my defenders. And I think that's what I was trying to say in my last video is like, don't go crazy with defenders. My goodness, at some point, they're not that useful. It seems like the team is just like slipping away as time goes on with the power creep and so on, right?
Oh, they're just a stepping stone. I mean, if you're a new player, you can kind of guilt-free put a lot of resources into the defenders, but just know that you're going to get to a point where they will be your strongest team, but you kind of have to take your foot off the gas and switch gears. You're not going to ride them all the way to the end game.
Right.
But definitely ride that defenders train, at least to the first few stops.
Right. So that's exactly the point of the video is, defenders versus Sinister Six. And it's like, you need to put the brakes on defenders at some point. Use them to satisfy your guild and raids, get through some of the campaign. But then as soon as you have better tools to do different jobs, you definitely want to put the brakes on your defenders. So guess what time it is right now?
Oh, please tell me we're doing a giveaway.
It's time for the giveaway. All right. Really hope you like this.
Can we give away Spider-Man altogether? Just give him away from the MCU?
Yeah, we're gonna give away Spider-Man. How does that sound? We need more Spider-Mans in this game, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I really hope you like this video today. Because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you will be getting for free in your account an 8-star Tobey Maguire. This is not a scam. What do you think of that picture right there of Tobey Maguire?
I honestly don't know what to say. That was my face when I realized I was going to have to power up my Sinister Six.
How high do you think you're going to have to do it, though? I don't know.
Probably not too much.
Yeah, I mean, I think gear 9, gear 10, maybe level 62, 3-ish, be done with it.
I was pretty mad after the last legendary event. They were like, this is our hardest legendary event ever. And I was like, all right, maybe they're not playing around. And oh man, I went way overboard. So
yeah, boy, nope. I really hope they don't.
Once.
I really hope they don't ever do anything like Dark Phoenix with just like random teams out of nowhere. Villain Mystic Controllers, I was not a fan of that. Did not like that at all. That was not fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of fortunate that there were characters that we already could have been working on. Most people weren't, but at least they were characters that we already could have had powered up. So it wasn't too bad, but.
All right, be sure to check out Casino's channel, and you're on Twitch every day at 1 p.m. Pacific time, right?
Yep, and you might see me make that face.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming.